What up? What up? What up? How's it going, everyone? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing freaking fantastic. I got my coffee, standard, big ass mason jar full of coffee, thief, bean juice, whatever you want to call it. Got that. What's the creamer that I used for this one? It's a definite favorite. It's a favorite of mine. I think it's the Italian sweet cream. Ooh, 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 so good. Not only did I have the coffee, but you know what? I think the highlight of my morning, besides talking to all of you, by the way, it's a Sunday morning. The weather is shit outside. It's great. But the highlight of my morning is I had a delicious pumpkin donut. And I'm not really the one that enjoys, like, I'm not like a huge fan of like pumpkin pie. I recently, over the last few years, have channeled my inner white girl, um, basic bitch white girl, I guess you could say, with the pumpkin spice cold brews. I'm not really a latte person, so maybe not 100% basic white girl, but I'm making my way downtown. Um, but this donut is so good. It's just like I think it was like there's eight of them, and I want to say they were like $5. It's like the basic one that you see on the end aisle at the grocery store. I can't remember the name. Is it something Mentimen? Wow, I can't spell Mentimans. Jesus, donuts. Jesus, Entenmann's, Entenmann's. I was close. So yeah, Entenmann's donuts. So good. So I highly suggest if you see them bad bitches, which you've seen them before. Like it's the most basic boxing. Like I think usually I get like the chocolate covered ones, and those are just like the standard. Yeah, rich frosted donuts, Entenmann's, 8 count. I don't know. Oh, this is at Walmart. Yeah, where I got mine. Cool. I don't know if they upsell because it's pumpkin shit, but 4.48 for 8 donuts. You know, like it's not going to be a Voodoo Donuts or a Gross Donuts or a Krispy Kreme Hot and Fresh. But it's like for $5. Come on. There's another one I want to try. It's like I think it's apple cider. So that one might not. I don't know. I like an apple pie over a pumpkin pie any day. So like in theory, I should like it. I'm gonna take a quick sip. Hopefully, I don't get all geeked out. Usually, I have like the coffee on an empty stomach, but that donut was calling my name. I was gonna have it while I was doing the podcast, but no one really wants to hear someone eat food, like especially crackers or something that goes. So, this is not an ASMR channel. Maybe one day I'll do one just for fun and see, like, hey, how many people out there like to listen to people smack their food, like mukbangs and shit like that? Like, there is nothing in the world. Okay, there's a ton of things in the world that I would hate more, but for the sake of a podcast, there's nothing I hate more than someone smacking their food or smacking their gum. It's like, hey, how about you shut your mouth and chew it? Right? Like, there's sometimes I'll be at like anywhere with headphones on or something. Like any of the jobs I've worked at, like it's not specific to the one I'm at now or anywhere. It's just like, even with headphones on, there's some people where I'm like, I can still hear you chewing, Like also gum. Like, don't open your mouth when you're chewing gum. Like, I know it can happen because sometimes you just like to like, yeah, I don't know, make it with your teeth so it's like really long and you kind of just like stick it out of your mouth. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird and I've done that, but like I do that alone where people cannot hear sounds of my mouth. It's just weird. I don't like it. So that was a weird tangent, but woo, hope you all are doing well. Hopefully you're doing a lot better than most of the people that are in Las Vegas, especially the ones that missed yesterday at the When We Were Young Fest. Absolute shit show. I'm surprised that the city did not burn down. But then again, it's a lot of elder emos and they probably don't have just like the willpower to really do it because they're already, emo and they're 30 and they have jobs and they spent money, and the last thing they can do is afford to spend a night in jail or something like that. I mean, but all jokes aside, Coming from the touring world, I of course it sucks. It absolutely sucks that they canceled the show. I think the worst part of it is that they canceled it like, I don't know, an hour or so before the show. So, that's just what I've been seeing mostly. I'm sure some people might have heard earlier. Let's see here. This is from variety.com. Not all festival attendees received the email announcing plans to cancel the day's event at the same time, with some finding the statement in their inboxes as late as 10:30. Others first learned the news through chatter on social media. Majority of people, I think, standing in line didn't find out until 10:30, or I don't know, an hour or so before the first band goes on. So that's a huge shot to the gut, especially like, I saw some TikToks. Oh, TikTok's blown up, by the way. Like, if you want to get popping on TikTok, actually, honestly, you might be a bit late. You might be a day late. But hey, try it. Post a video complaining about When We Were Young Fest, at least the first day. And then I think the lowest amount of likes, I think, on likes, maybe views or something, was like 2,500, which is great. So I don't know. Even if you're there, just tag it. Chances are you're not listening to this while you're at the concert, unless they cancel it again. But I feel for both sides. I think I feel more for the touring side of it, because 30 to 40 mile per hour winds and then 60 mile an hour gusts. That's pretty insane. The 30 to 40 might not be bad, and which is, I think, what people might have been complaining about, because I've seen, like I saw on TikTok and obviously Instagram Reels, it's like people showing videos of just like, trees swaying, or some not swaying at all, and they're like, what is this? It's like, wind can take a fucking break for a second. Jesus. But like, I've seen the videos where people are like, what the hell? This is not bad at all. Of course, there's some people that are real out there and they're like, holy shit. Like, you go into like a corridor or something and you're getting blown over. I saw one guy that was like walking down the strip and he had long hair and everything. And if you've ever tried walking into really high wind, like it's kind of hard. There's pushback, of course. But you're a human fucking being and you're heavy. So, you can go through it, but like to the point where you can almost lean forward a little bit. You can do the Michael Jackson lean and you're good, right? But like, it's still a little hard. I've seen those, which is shout out to you guys for keeping it real. It's just one of those where it's like, no one wants to cancel a show, of course, because you have the fans on one side that spent money, especially for something like this. I don't know what the price of tickets were. I can imagine they're not super cheap, but a lot of people, you fly out, whether you're coming from overseas. I saw some people that flew from like the UK, even Canada, which is, it's not too far. It's fucking Canada. You're right. You're right there. Uh, hotels. And especially, when, if you know life, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's a show going on, rates are going to go higher. So I feel for everyone on that side. If I was in y'all's shoes, I would be pissed too, because I would be like, hey, I'm broke as fuck. Like, I just spent $600 on a hotel room, and not including airfare, because I would have to fly there, right? Airfare. You're probably getting some groceries. You need to pay for food while you're there and traveling. Obviously coming back, taking off work, hotel room, all of this stuff. So like, you're going to be out quite a bit of money. And for the first day to be canceled is pretty shitty. I don't know the ticket buying process for this. I don't know if it's like you buy for the whole weekend, or it's like you only buy for the one day, like Saturday, Sunday. And I think there's one on Monday. I'm not quite sure, but like, it's one thing if it's buying for a whole weekend, then I guess just chill out. Like, you still have 2 more days, or at least 1 more day today. Like, quit crying. It's over. Like, there's nothing you're going to do about it besides maybe try to get like a refund, which I think they are offering the refund, right? I think they're offering, yeah. So maybe it is just one by one. Anyways, but and don't come crucify me, people that are fans and you're up in arms about it all. I'm just speaking on my, experience of 10, 11 plus years of touring. Most of them, I mean, I've done Warped Tour 3 times. We've played in the rain. Well, I haven't personally played because I can't play music worth shit. But you're in the rain, thunderstorms, lightning, crazy ass weather, raining sideways. Like, it's crazy. But wind is another beast. Like, you can cover shit for the rain. Like, lightning's a little different. I think you kind of have to shut it down for a little bit until that kind of passes. But, you can do things against rain, right? But wind is different. For example, I mean, I know my friends, a lot of my friends are even, they're in Vegas right now. Like, they are some of the people, the voice of reason that you see on social media being like, hey, like, this is unsafe, not only for you guys, but for us. Like, you don't want one, you want a good show, and you don't want your favorite artist, you know, to get smashed by like a huge ass wall of speakers, right? You don't want something to go terribly wrong and now you have witnessed your favorite band falling through a stage and dying, That's not fun. And then that's going to make the whole thing even worse. Like, if that show were to go on and something terrible would have happened, they have insurance, of course, right? But if something goes terribly wrong, like, who's gonna want to do that again? Like, I don't know. I don't really know the logistics of all that stuff, but like, you just don't want that to happen. Like, for example, one of the last tours I was on was a festival tour, and I'm not gonna say what because I mean, I don't want to stir any pots or anything, but I mean, it was a nice sunny day. It wasn't super windy, but like, for example, you're in an amphitheater, right? Say you're looking at the stage, and then usually there's like some huge banners on the left and right to kind of tell you what stage you're at and stuff like that, right? Well, to keep them kind of staying taut and tight, it's the same word or same fucking meaning, keeping it down and tight and good. There's a big steel pipe, and I don't know how long it is. It's probably like 8 or 9 feet long, right? I don't know. It's hollow, but I don't know. It's like a regular fucking pipe, dude. I don't know, like the size of the like a barrel of a bat. Well, there was only one side tied down, and the other one was not tied down, and there was a gust, and I was going through the side stage to go climb kind of down this ladder to get into the photo pit. I'm not going anywhere where I'm not supposed to be. There's no one there saying like, it'd be one thing if someone was like, hey, no, sorry, you can't go here. Like, go around the long ways. There wasn't that. So I was like, and obviously I've done it multiple times during the set, but one time towards the end, there's like a song or two left. I go and this pipe swings with the wind a little bit and cracks me upside the head. At moment impact, I knew something was wrong. I did finish the set because I'm not a pussy, and finished it, and it just didn't feel good the entire day, entire night. It was also the last night that we could really party because it was the second to last show, which is a bummer because I went to the medic clinic or the medic tent at least twice, maybe 3 times, but at least twice because I went there originally and they were like, hey, just keep an eye on your head and because my neck was hurting too, and they're like, hey, there's nothing really we can do right now besides maybe send an ambulance, but like we don't need to do that if, well, one, that's going to cost a lot of money, and if it if it gets better, then great. If not, then come back. So I went back and all this stuff, and they're just like, yeah, there's nothing that they could do unless I mean, I didn't have the opportunity to get the ambulance or get a ride to, the emergency room because they're, leaving that night. Like, I can't afford to go. I mean, I could probably fly home, but, finish the last show, all this stuff. Like, it was whack. But basically, the next day I was able to go to the emergency room and I had like a minor concussion. I know a minor, whatever, but hey, concussion's a concussion. It's not good. So minor concussion, I forget the word they use, but my neck was tweaked. And obviously because I said my neck hurts, they put me in a fucking neck brace, which also cost me money. The end of the story is luckily the festival, they paid for my medical bills, which was I think it was going to be upwards of like 2 grand maybe. So it's like, luckily I would have, yeah, I would have. Luckily they paid it because I would have been screwed. But anyways, that's a small, tiny thing that happened on a not crazy windy day, right? But when you have 30 to 40 miles of sustained winds, and don't think I'm smart, I just looked at it and it said on the thing, it says sustained. So I don't think I've ever used that word in normal life. But the 60-mile-an-hour gusts are crazy. I've been sitting here at home and there's, well, a day where it was basically 30, I mean, honestly, 30 to 40 mile-an-hour winds and 60-mile-an-hour gusts. Not shitting you, like in that range, like 35 to 41 and 59 or 63 gusts, like whatever, right? But it's crazy. It's scary. Like you're making sure, like even just the shit we have at our house, like outside, inside, you're like making sure that things are gonna, like, one, stay in place, like your umbrella that's outside, like make sure that's cinched down because the last thing you want is that. Like we don't have a trampoline, but if we had one, I'd be so worried about that trampoline. So it's scary. And I know you're in Vegas and it's like pretty flat and there's just, I mean, I'm sure there's coverage from buildings. I don't know where the event is taking place, but you got to worry about merch tents. Like I know you can put those, like they do a good job usually. I'm not quite sure. Like it's not Firefest where it's like FEMA tents, but they cinch those things down. Like they're pretty good, but all it takes is for one to catch some wind and get some air, and like that could take out some people. It could really damage some people. And that's just talking about a merch tent. Start adding like a wall of, and I don't know what the actual term would be. I don't know if it's called a wall of like, monitors or speakers, but it's the ones you see on the sides and they're massive. And what if one of those, I mean, I saw a video, I don't even know if this was from it, but like the other day I saw a video where there was like like one of those big walls. I would say maybe, oh geez. Sometimes I feel like I'm good at guessing like lengths and heights and all that shit. But like I call it a 40-foot wall of speakers, like heavy as balls. I don't know how heavy it is, but if that were to fall on you, you would be like a squashed little bug. You wouldn't stand, you would die 1000%. I saw it sway like crazy, almost maybe like 45 degrees, just like from straight up and down to 45, boom, and like go back. Dude, it's crazy. I mean, I know there's other things to worry about, but it's like you don't want to risk it. No one wants to risk it. It's not fun. You're going to be standing there like, I guess if you get hammered, sure. I don't know. Just fucking it's one of those you run the risk anytime you go to you buy tickets to a show, something happening. Like, when the fire marshal comes in an hour or so, whatever time the marshal came in, like what are you gonna go to the fire marshal and be like, nah, I'm an emo kid and I'm 30 and fuck you. Like, no. Just I don't know. It's crazy. I side with both people or both sides, but man, just chill out. I don't even know. I'm surprised that I talked for 20 minutes about this. I was like, I just wanted to bring it up. But it was okay. It was definitely funny because like everyone was like, "Oh, great, first day." Like my buddy, he is out with a band and they're there right now, and there was some build up to this because I knew he was going, and we're working on a project together, and he's like, "Yeah, basically, going to be busy this weekend because the festival, so the project we're working on, you know, work on it when I can, yada yada yada." And yesterday morning, like I talked to him like very briefly regarding our project. And then like moments later, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, I see on his story, like repost on the stories about like the when we were young, like when they released that the show was canceled. I was like, what? So it's kind of funny because like it's so good to be true. Like, and I mean, today is so far going well. I guess I don't know. I haven't really looked into it, but like, yeah, My Chemical Romance, Paramore, The Used, Bring Me the Horizon, Taking Back Sunday, A Day to Remember, Pierce the Veil. Like the list goes on. It's a huge thing. It's one of those when it first got announced, people are like, "Oh, this is something's gonna happen," and it did. But it's something that like you couldn't, you whatever, dude. Like just enjoy today if you're able to get there, and if not, take it on the chin. Try and get your money back. And if not, I don't know. I know Emo Night's doing some cool shit, so make sure you check them out. I know they had a show. They did a thing last night. Let me see. Emo Night. Yeah, honestly, if you're listening to this and you know what I'm talking about, you know Emo Night, and you can just go type that in. You can figure it out. You're a grown elder emo. And shout out to all the younger emo kids out there. Stay strong. Stay vigilant. This is part of the process for you to one day become an elder emo. But I hope everything goes well. Shout out to, I mean, obviously the fans that are there right now and who was dealing with it all yesterday. Hopefully you got rightfully drunk on the strip, which is something you could maybe possibly enjoy. I don't really enjoy Vegas anymore, but obviously a bigger shout out to my touring homies that are there. Stay safe. If you even do listen to this, chances are no one's going to listen to this today because everyone's fucking busy. Fuck. 22 minutes. That's stupid. When we were young, just fucking raking it in. But now, in all honesty, like I hope I'm not coming off like I'm talking shit on anything. I just hope it goes well for everyone. I understand both sides, and just yeah, have fun with it. Something I guess I'll close this out. Recently, there has been some things with Kanye, and I know this is a flip. I mean, I guess we're staying in the. I mean, he's a musician, I guess. Still, who knows? Kind of a. I don't even know what you'd call him now. Like retired musician, um, presidential candidate, mayor or wannabe mayor, God, I guess. I don't know. But he's been in the news recently. Like the first thing I saw a couple of weeks back. When was this article? This is on npr.org. Okay, October 19th. Okay. Um, the family of George Floyd, they plan to file a $250 million lawsuit against Yee. What's Yee's fucking Kanye West's net worth? Who knows if this stuff's even real? 2 billion. Okay, so he can cover that, I think. So $250 million, and apparently, according to a quick Google search, he's worth 2 billion. Underneath it says Kim K is worth 1.8. I feel like that's not true. Yeah, kind of crazy. I'm not going to go into it too much because I don't want to like do any weird shit. But like, if you're wondering why, apparently, I guess Kanye's on the side, allegedly is on the side that it was not the Chauvin guys, the police officer's fault that he died. Basically, he's on team fentanyl, that the guy died because of the fentanyl and not the 8 minutes of the knee on the fucking neck and all that. I don't remember too much of the details, so I'm not going to go into it more. For the record, I do not think that it was the fentanyl that did it. Agree with me or disagree with me, I really don't care. But it's just crazy. So he's potentially getting sued for 200, allegedly, let's just keep using that word because I think that covers bases. And I don't think I'm saying anything crazy, but allegedly getting potentially sued for 250 mil, which was the start of it. And I was like, oh, great, cool, awesome. And this is the phase where he's like wearing his ridiculous clothing, and he's got this. I don't know. Did he get in like a fight or something? I know, like back in the day, he got in like a wreck, and that's why he looks a little chubby cheeked. Um, but you've probably seen the photos. He's wearing a hat and obviously all black Gap with like his cheeks look all kind of messed up, almost like maybe he got punched in both cheeks like separately or at the same time. But like bloody lip, and then he's wearing a Balenciaga mouth guard. So I don't know, maybe he got some like dental work, something done, and like he has to wear it. But he's like, let me do it the Yee way and make it Balenciaga. So that was the start of it. That potentially getting a $250 million lawsuit, and then close this window. Where is it? Where are you? Fuck. Okay. And then this one, I was like, what was it? The Paris. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Paris Fashion Week, I think. He was seen. If you're on social media at all, you've probably seen it. I don't know. Him and someone else on the backs of their shirts, there's a photo and it said "White Lives Matter," which I was like, I'm not like a super sensitive person when it comes to kind of things like that. It doesn't affect me. Like I'm here and open for the Black Lives Matter and what it means, and the whole crazy shit behind it. Like I'm not too invested in it because it doesn't affect my daily life. Like I feel for everyone. I just want everyone to get along, which is definitely never going to happen. But like we live on this big flying piece of rock next to this like burning ball in like an infinite blackness with other massive things. Like who really gives a shit? Like whatever. Like it's exhausting seeing like all that crap all over the place. Just get along. Get along. Is it too hard to ask? Yes, it is. But anyways, he was wearing, which started it. Him and someone else were wearing. Oh no, is it the okay here? His appearance at the Burberry in London, followed by walking the runway at the Balenciaga Summer Mud Show. I don't know. Some of the words in this is like Givenchy, Paris Fashion Week. Okay, cool. Yeah, they both had shirts on the back that said "White Lives Matter," and I was like, why stir the pot? Like, why can't you be like Lil Wayne when someone was asking like in an interview about the Black Lives Matter movement and stuff? He had no idea. Like, he was kind of like, huh? Like, what's that? Like, I don't know. Like, why stir the pot? Like, you're just gonna get people more pissed off. But you pair that with some anti-Semitic comments, and then you know what? Guess what? Balenciaga cuts ties with you, which is crazy. So, hey, shout out to Balenciaga. If you want to send me free shit, that's awesome. I'm team Balenciagas all day, every day. Can't afford it, but hey, maybe one day it'd be cool to have some cool shit. Maybe even just one shirt that just has the tiny little logo in the middle that says Balenciaga. Like, hey, I'm a size large. Hit me up for my address. But awesome. He's doing way too much weird shit to like be a part of such large company. Like I'm surprised the Gap still carries his crazy ass shit. Like the Yeezy Gap, like I will say, and this kind of it sucks. I mean, it's just a black hoodie, but the way they look and they fit, I kind of like it. But they're the just all black Gap Yeezy hoodie looks cool. So it's only $60 right now. That's kind of nice. There's the bigger one, the polar fleece padded hoodie. Oh no, because he's like, there's all these fucking. Well, that's kind of cool. Oh, that dry bag looks fucking stupid. I'm on Gap right now. Oh yeah, dude, the flame cap, $80. Be stunting on y'all hoes. I'm sorry for that. That was stupid. It's crazy. Like that he's a part of all this stuff. I don't know. Like I hope he's okay. I might be sounding like I'm talking some shit. It's just crazy that he's like so influential and called like a genius and all these things. And yes, I'm sure in certain aspects he is, but like I'm starting to see the crazy kind of outweighing what used to be such a talented artist. Like I was never a super crazy Kanye West fan back in the day, maybe one album, but I haven't listened to that album in so long. I just think I grew out of his work. But that's probably like, I don't know, high school maybe. It's the one with the bear on the outside. What is that fucking called? Kanye West album with bear on it. What was it called? Graduation, I think. Come on, baby. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. I don't know. It just scares me where he's going to go next. And that brings me to the next thing. And it's probably the last thing I'm going to talk about because I need more. I'm halfway done with this coffee. I'm going to take a sip. Mm. Tasty, tasty. That was creepy. My apologies. Oh my god, some of the stuff on here. If you have a moment, just like go to yeezygap.com and there's a slideshow of like some of the stuff. There's one like an all denim, like a denim pants with like these ridiculous boots that you've seen him wear. He's wearing black latex gloves. All right, Dexter. And then he's wearing the hoodie, the black hoodie with a all black like mask, I guess. You know, like the green suit, but it's black. And then a denim jacket, but it's got the most insane shoulder pads. It's crazy. Yeah, check it out. There's some weird, interesting stuff. It's kind of funny. But yeah, this next thing kind of just drives it home a little bit more. What I was saying, like the crazy seems to like start outweighing like the cool shit that he's done, which I can't say I think the last thing he did that was cool was he was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and that was weird too. Felt like he said a prayer, like just out of nowhere to himself. Looked like he fell asleep once. Like just some weird stuff, but it was cool because Joe Rogan. I mean, I like Joe Rogan. I like his podcast, so I was like, damn, that's cool. But Kanye, he wants to start a mini. What's the word here? Okay, this is Rolling Stone. Kanye West wants to build his own mini city called the Yecosystem. I will say, okay, maybe this is another thing that is cool that he's done. The name is, I like the name. Chances are I might make the episode name something with that. That or where was it? There's the Yecosystem or the Yeezyverse. Kind of cool. Would never want to live in there, but he wants to make his own little universe. It's crazy. West. So this is from Rolling Stone. West's plan for his own small universe has been in the works for years. Two Yeezy sources confirmed to Rolling Stone. The sources described it as a self-sustained enterprise that would have its own branded homes, retail stores that sell Yecosystem branded food items and beverages. The plan is serious, with arrangements to launch the first campus as early as next month. Eventually, West hopes to establish these mini communities across the country, the source says. So I do have some notes that I wrote down of maybe some potential rules to follow, I guess. One thing I will say, it is kind of poking fun at the whole idea, all of these things I'm about to say. So have a chuckle, don't take it seriously. I do say it would be kind of cool if maybe this was on the sense of like a lower income situation and not like this high roller, like unattainable thing. Like you need to be making like, I don't know, like 30, no, not 30, Jesus, like 100K, a year at least, because that's the only way you're going to be able to afford one of these. I will say the Yecosystem branded food and like beverages, like that's kind of weird. Like, are you just gonna like have regular like Coca-Cola, but like put a different label on it? I don't know. That kind of sketches me out because then you start getting into like food safety all that stuff. That's kind of weird. The branded homes make sense. Duh. Um, Chances are they're gonna have huge shoulder pads on the house. I mean, I guess that'll make fun for the kids to jump off of. But yeah, here's some funny little things that hopefully they're funny. I thought they were funny when I was writing them out. But basically, kind of some community laws for the Yeeco system or the Yeezyverse, whatever you want to call it. So you must wear like Yeezys, the Gap collection. I don't think he has any other things because I mean Balenciaga is done with them, or they're done with him. But you basically your outfit is Gap Kanye with Yeezys, either like those foam slipper things or like the actual Yeezy boosts. I'm not quite sure. So yes, Yeezy Gap collection, but the only problem is like it's not provided for you. You have to buy it on your own. So basically, once you get accepted into the Yeezyverse or the fuck, the ecosystem, you then now have to at least buy a couple outfits. Like you're not going to be doing laundry every other day because I mean the water bill is probably going to be crazy high because they're probably going to have Yeezy branded washers and dryers, and I don't know how that's going to go. So you have to buy your own Yeezys and Gap from Kanye shit because it's not provided for you. So make sure you save a little money on the side so you can buy that. Next one is you must attend Sunday service, which I think that's what he has. It's kind of like a concert thingy, like religious, godlike thing. So you have to attend Sunday service, but it's basically just like a kind of a small, intimate Kanye show. And every Sunday, well, see, the thing is, if he wants to roll them out like multiple places, he's not going to be able to be at every place on Sunday. So whatever, like whenever your Sunday service is scheduled, maybe every twice a month or once a month, it's you have to attend that. It's mandatory. Like you're sick, you be there, stand in the back, or maybe you can live stream it or something. I don't know. Like, but take a quiz at the end to make sure you're paying attention. But it's the same Kanye West show every single time. So it's like a smaller kind of intimate thing, but it's the same songs every single time, same little speeches every time. The next one is you have to call him Yeezus. Okay, easy. You also have to have a true hate for Pete Davidson, which will preempt a little kind of quiz or test for your entry when you do all the paperwork, I'm sure. And then everyone, this one's my favorite. Everyone gets religious candles. Like you go to the gas station or like like a truck stop, I guess better would be called because truck stops have cooler shit than just gas stations. But like those kind of tall, they're maybe like a foot tall, but they're like the cylindrical candles that they all smell not that great, but usually it has like Mother Mary or Jesus on it or something. But they also have the ones that are like your favorite celebrity, but they have like the religious garb on. I think that's right. Garb, clothing, right? You know what I'm talking about. So everyone like in their house has some candles like that, but with Kanye and Kim, not on the same one because we know how that went, but like you just get that like it's already in your house. Like you walk into your Yecosystem branded house and it's already in there. Yeah. So that was my favorite one, I will say. You must never speak badly of Kim, but you have to hate Pete. But you can never speak badly of Kim. I feel like maybe I don't know. You'll have some sort of like Yecosystem community service to do if like you're caught saying bad things about Kim, which you should never talk bad about anyone. And then this is the last one I wrote because I felt like I could have kept going forever. But you must pitch three, and three might be too much, but you must pitch 3 creative ideas a month. But only if you are younger than Kanye, which he is 45 years old. He only listens to people that are younger than him. And this might be taken out of context. I did listen to the episode when it came out, but I've obviously seen like clips on Instagram and TikTok. So I'm taking it with a grain of salt. All of this is just for fun. Don't hit me up and crucify me, but apparently on the Joe no, not Joe Rogan. Some other I forget what it was. He basically was, like, very vocal and, like, almost, like, yelling that he only listens to people that are younger than him, because younger people are the only ones that have, like, the good ideas. So, you must pitch 3 creative ideas a month, but if you're older than him, you're opted out. Maybe you have to do some other sort of thing like rake leaves or I don't know, pay a fine or, like, a quarter. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. It's one of those. I hope it actually is kind of a cool thing. Like I was saying, like something to where they'll give back to the community, maybe like a lower, income community. Not to the sense where it's like people that like I don't know, like you're not gonna go and find homeless people on the street and put them in the ecosystem, right? Unless they have like a program where like you get to learn music and art and fashion. Like that could be cool. Cause yes, he is a freaking nut job as of late. But I mean, he got to where he is now with his $2 billion net worth for a reason, right? So like maybe there would be some like homeless like recovery or, if you're an addict or something and recovering, like some sort of program to like, well, hey, either you can keep being homeless and maybe just die next week from fucking I don't know the whatever COVID version is out yet, or you can come live in the ecosystem and you can maybe learn how to play the piano or use autotune or cut denim or something like that. Like that would be cool. Something to where like it's obviously helping his ecosystem or the Yeezyverse, but in the larger scheme of things, it's maybe cleaning off the streets a little bit. You're giving back to the community outside of his community, you know. So that's I'm excited to see maybe where that goes if it even happens. I I don't know. Like it's one of those where it's like maybe you just put money into those veteran homes. Like where like these veterans come back and maybe they're falling on hard times, maybe they're homeless or something and they create these communities of like what are they called? Tiny homes. Maybe use like I don't know, some of that money instead of creating a ecosystem to put money into, those sort of shelter tiny home communities like that. Unless that's what he's going to be kind of doing. Is another version of that. It's just branded Kanye Gap Yeezys, you know? So I'm looking forward to seeing photos because I'm really interested to see how they're going to brand the homes. And the ecosystem branded food items is very weird to me. It's interesting because I want to see what it's going to look like. To me, I just picture, say, a can of evaporated milk. Why I chose that, I do not know. Okay, here. Soup. Chicken noodle soup, right? You think of maybe Campbell's, right? Okay, well, strip that logo. You got just like the silver tin. Oh, there's something in my recording that's coming up, and I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully, I record over it. This should be finished. Stroke. Every time, every episode, at least one stroke. So yeah, you have the tin, right? The silver tin, the aluminum or whatever material it is. You strip that Campbell's soup logo and you put just like one black thing around it, right? Oh, cool. It just recorded over it. Awesome. Uh, white or black, just white paper or black paper. And it just says in like the most basic font, soup. And maybe like underneath it, even smaller, it'll be like noodle with chicken broth with noodles and canned chicken. Like, cause you can't, I don't know if like you'd be able to be like chicken noodle soup. Like he'll put some twang on it, right? So I'm interested to see the branded homes, what they're gonna look like in the food. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have high hopes for it. I guess the only hopes I have for it is what I was saying about just like making it a community that's not gonna just be some pompous shit. So All jokes aside, I know he's probably going through some crazy shit, which I don't, know what's on the backside of everything. You know, you only like, especially with these celebrities, most of the time you only see what, you know, the web wants to show you. So who knows what he's going through? Hopefully he's doing okay. I know I haven't expressed much love for him. It's not anything that like I think he's a terrible person or anything. Like, hope for the best, but it just seems downhill. Like these three things, like eh, I don't know. Hopefully he pulls around and this ecosystem is an actual like rebound, and he turns around and makes everything all good. So yeah, man, what a fucking rant. Two topics. Sick. Man, I love podcasting. It's so fun. I never know. Sometimes like I didn't know what I was going to talk about and I think this is why I didn't have an episode last week is I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Also too, like been really busy with this project that my buddy and I are working on. It's for a band's headliner that's I think coming up soon. So we're really stoked doing the visuals for the show. Super stoked. But I mean, been working at a seasonal job and I don't get off until 4:30. Takes about 30 minutes to get home. I got to eat food, right? So I spend, I don't know, 4 hours at least working on that. And then obviously the weekend, I'll take one day off in the middle of the week, just work on that. And then the weekends, obviously it's a free day where I don't have work and I can work all day. Like literally after I close up shop on this episode, I'm diving into the next song. So it's like last week I was like, fuck, I don't have anything I really want to talk about. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was like, you know what? Just save it. Do it now. Great. And I think that's it. Have a great day. Hit me up on Instagram at It's Danny Todd. At It's Danny Todd. And I'll talk to you later.
The Danny Toddcast.